Greetings, fellow Magic players. I've got a really special video for you today. My name is Brian McCormick, and you're watching MTG Rocks. So 2 days ago, I was Platinum, and now I'm in the top 1,000 of Mythic. And I'm going to tell you how I got there and how you can get there too. So the deck that I used to get here is Mono Red Risk Factor. I did run a Rakdos build to get to about Diamond 2. But then once I switched over to Mono Red Risk Factor, it was just so much easier to rank up. So I wouldn't even bother playing anything else right now if you want to rank up quickly. So this is the deck that I got to get to the top 1,000 in Mythic. This is a pretty standard build. However, this runs 3 Risk Factors. I think the Risk Factor build is the best deck to go with for a couple reasons. The main reason being that it's just quicker damage. Experimental Frenzy is fine, but it's vulnerable to things like Mortify, and Chandra is fine, but you know, it can be Vraska's Contempt. I think Risk Factor is just better because it's just straight up damage or card draw. It triggers with Steam-Kin easier. You can do it on the end of your opponent's turn. It takes 3 mana instead of 4. So I just think it's a better overall build to get more consistent wins. Other than Risk Factor, everything here is pretty much standard. We are running 19 lands. We do run 4 Wizard's Lightning in this build and 2 Skewers. Some people run those a little bit differently. So we're going to go ahead and play this build in ranked so you can see how I play this build. I'm not saying I play the best way, but I want you to see how I typically play it. But there's many ways you can play Mono Red. And I'll give you some insight on a few tips if we come across the mirror on how I deal with the mirror match, because the mirror match is pretty common. Alright, so we'll keep this. This seems like a playable hand. I would like a little bit more burn, but we do have 2 lands and some cards to play. So I like to be on the play versus this deck. Of course, I almost always want to be on the play, but alright, so Grazer is kind of an annoying blocker, and we're particularly creature set up here. And he's got 2 of them. That'll slow down our attacks since we have a creature-based hand. Alright, so I think what we want to do here is play the Steam-Kin. You almost always want to play Steam-Kin early, except in the mirror, so you can get it bigger and attack through things like these Grazers, for example. Yeah, so he's got a Ugin he can play probably next turn. We've got a little bit of a slow start here. Alright, so we would need 3 1-cast spells in order for Steam-Kin to work here. I'm going to go ahead and blow up the Ranger. And then we'll kill one of these Grazers. Because I need to get damage in with my creatures, so at least this way I'm getting in 2 damage and his other Grazer dies. Or I'm getting in 3 damage. So yeah, these Grazers are a bit annoying. Alright, so he's stuck on 5. That's good for us. Alright, so we might be able to go off here with Steam-Kin and Risk Factor. So let's play our Lavarunner. Alright. So we usually want to use the Steam-Kin's mana before we attack. That way we can get as many spells in as possible. Sometimes we draw more Lavarunners and we want to play those and other haste creatures like Fanatical Firebrand. Alright, so I think, let's see, we want to do Chainwhirler first. Get some extra damage in to our opponent, and then we can light up the stage for the spectacle cost. Alright, perfect. So we got Shock and Wizard's Lightning. So we can shock the Grazer if we need to. So I'm going to Wizard's Lightning the opponent's life total. And this is just, the Risk Factor is going to be crazy here if we can go off more. Alright, so I'll use it again. And now if I use Risk Factor, I'm not going to be able to play anything else probably this turn. So I could just shock the Grazer and attack with everything. That seems fine. Yeah, I'll just kill the Grazer. Alright. And we'll attack for 6. Alright, the next turn we can risk factor even if he kills Steam-Kin with his Ugin. So if he did that, we would win anyways on damage. Alright, so we won that game. Yeah, Steam-Kin's pretty powerful alongside Risk Factor, although I don't even think we got to play that game. Didn't matter. But yeah, see, against mono green, they're particularly weak to turn 2 Steam-Kin because they don't usually have removal. And that means turn 3 and turn 4 we can often just dump our whole hand versus opponents. Alright, so I've only got 1 land. Sometimes I keep those if I have a light up the stage, but I don't here. So I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, and we'll keep a little flooded, but that's okay. I feel like the games where I don't mulligan 1 land hands, I often lose. So I'm leaning more toward doing mulliganing more 1 land hands. Alright, so let's see. He could play Cry the Carnarium next turn, so I don't want to commit more creatures, so the better play here is just to deal 3 damage to him and then get the additional power from Lavarunner. I'm not optimistic that we'll win this game, just because we did have to mulligan, and you know, look, we're already really low on resources. Well, he didn't get a land last turn, so that is something in our favor. Interesting. Okay, well, we might just run away with this. Alright. And basically a free win there. Sometimes Esper doesn't have it. Ooh, and we're number 500 after that game. So far, I'm pretty happy with their matchup versus Esper. They do usually run the new Kaya's enchantment that deals 3 damage and gains 3 life, which is a little bit annoying. Alright, I really like this hand. Will be so good on the play, but drawing a card is fine, I guess. Ooh, more Esper. Okay. Ooh, so I kind of hate going on the draw versus Esper when I have Steam-Kin hands, because Steam-Kin's so good if I'm on the play, but on the draw, it's like I play it turn 2 and then he just cries with a Carnarium and it doesn't do anything for me. So in this case, I'm just gonna attack for 1. I mean, maybe you're supposed to play Cry and or play Runaway Steam-Kin and just hope they don't have Cry the Carnarium. But you know, he doesn't have Cry here. Yeah, see, if that was the case, it would have been better to play Steam-Kin, but alright, so he probably likes Kaya's Wrath then if he doesn't have Cry. I'm just gonna slow play. I'm not gonna play Steam-Kin because I don't want to play it into a Kaya's Wrath. Alright, since he did that, well, yeah, I mean, I could run these out now to avoid them getting counterspelled, but I also kind of want to play Steam-Kin before I run these, so Steam-Kin is bigger. Although he's likely got a lot of spot removal in his hand either way. Alright, this thing's fine. So we're gonna play Steam-Kin. Then we're gonna Wizard's Lightning our opponent. And then we're gonna shock them. The reason I'm doing this is I just want to get Lavarunner another power. Alright, and then if he Kaya's Wrath on his turn, we got him down to 2 on our turn. With Lightning Strike, if we draw a shock or a Lightning Strike on our turn, we win. Alright, and we won. Like, this deck is so good. This is clearly the best deck in Standard. I mean, Esper is good, but when are you ever going to see... I think this is the best time ever in Standard for having this many powerful red cards. I mean, they're all crazy. We got a 2/2 Haster for 1 mana. We've got a 2/1 that deals 2 damage for 2. Risk Factor deals 4 damage twice. Chainwhirler deals the damage to everything. It's hard to argue that this is the best deck. You can beat it. You can build a deck to beat it pretty easily. But the problem is then you lose to all the other decks in the format. Alright, we're playing against Esper again. There's a lot less diversity, I feel, in the Mythic ranks than in Diamond. I felt like Diamond is actually harder to play in than, and even Platinum can be a little bit harder to grind than Mythic. Gleaming Barrier, what is this? I have no idea what we're playing against here. Some kind of 5-color Niv-Mizzet, maybe. I could, of course, Lightning Strike after it blocks, but I just want to see if he blocks. Doesn't hurt to attack. But yeah, I'm playing Steam-Kin first. Maybe he's got removal on his next turn. Or Cry the Cranium, but... Whoa, okay. This is weird. If you know this deck before me, kudos. Mana Geode. I feel like I'm gonna get owned by like a Niv-Mizzet and some Nicol Bolas for sure. Alright, so... Let's see, what do we want to do? If we Lightning Strike and Shock, Lavarunner becomes a 2/2. Alright, so I'm going to attack with everything and see how he blocks to decide how to use my spells. So I can use them most efficiently. Alright. So... I can get this to 3 power if I want to. Alright, so... I'm gonna... Lightning Strike his face. And then... Shock the barrier to kill it. Although I am ramping him by doing that. And then Lavarunner has extra 2 power. Can't believe I had to use a shock on a Gleaming Barrier. Psy Master Thopterist. Alright. Whenever you cast the artifact spell, he gets a 1/1 Thopter. That's a good way to get blockers. You can sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw a card. So our Chainwhirler will take care of that. I could also kill the Thopterist. Maybe that's what I should do. He's pretty heavy on his artifact build. Alright, and I want to kill this. It seems like that's the engine of his deck, so we definitely want to kill that. Sweet, and I want to get out our little haster and pump up Steam-Kin more. I think a misplay some people do is they attack with Steam-Kin and then they use the mana in main phase 2. The problem with that is if he blocks my Steam-Kin, Then if I use the 3 mana, my Steam-Kin dies because it has 1 damage on it and it's a 1/1. So typically I want to do it before combat so I can use the mana and not have Steam-Kin die. I've never read this Planeswalker before. Creatures and Planeswalker spells you cast have affinity for artifact.
Don't you see?
Alright, well he scoops because we've got lethal damage on our next turn. Let's see if we can get a mirror match here. I think the mirror match is particularly an interesting game. There is a lot of ways you can play the mirror. There's less good ways to play the mirror. Although it does often, if 2 players are good, then it does often come down to mana. It's also interesting whether you're against a Frenzy or a Chandra deck or another Risk Factor deck. My advice is, if you play against a Chandra deck, usually you do not want to attack the Chandra because then you are losing the race. Because you take that damage back at you, and typically you're not going to win that. Usually when your opponent has Chandra, you want to ignore it and just attack them straight to the face. Probably not a good sign for us if we're playing against green white. It's a March of Multitudes, which we can deal with Chainwhirler, but they have like Trostani, which pumps their stuff, so Chainwhirler doesn't kill it. Look at that, we're playing against a life gain deck. He's probably tired of losing the mono red, and he's just like, alright, I'm all life gain. Okay, so play Pyromancer. I think I want to save my Save the Critics in case he has some creature I need to kill. Who knows what we're up against. So. No, Knight of Autumn, that's annoying. Gains 4 probably. Yeah, alright. See what you did there. Alright, well, it dies to our Chainwhirler, so that is fine for us. I could use Skewer at this point. I probably should have played Firebrand there. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. Well, it's best not to double down on a mistake. We did miss 1 damage there. So I'm just going to play the Firebrand. Excellent's binding on Chainwhirler. Alright. That's fine. I feel like as long as he doesn't play Trostani, our chances of winning are pretty good here. Let's see, we got 7 damage in our hand. Yeah, I think I'll still save the Skewer. And if I draw a Risk Factor, it's wrong for me to save the Skewer, but in case there is a creature, a large creature, like let's say he plays Lyra, I can Skewer the Critics and shock a Lyra and then attack for 8 or 5 and then deal 2 to him. Put him at 1 again. So he's got March of the Multitudes in his hand, but he can only do it for 1 if that's the case. So let's attack him for 5. Oh, okay. He's got the little token dude. Alright. So we win. He makes the token. We kill the token. Alright, we attack for 4. And we win a number of ways on damage. plenty of burn to spare. Hey, we're 314 now. You move a lot up and down the ranks, I notice, at least I am. Of course, I just hit Mythic today, so I'm not sure how common that is, but when I first hit Mythic, I was jumping like up and down, like a few hours ago, up and down 100, 200 slots at a time. Maybe it's like if you have a win streak of like 4 or 5 games in a row, it just bumps you up a bunch. I suppose. Not a great hand, but not one I would mulligan. Alright, more Esper. So against Esper, the key to risk factor is you want to risk factor early. The reason being is if they play Narset, Narset means you can't draw more than 1 card on your turn. And if you risk factor, they're just going to decline the risk factor and let you draw. But the problem is with Narset, if you out, you're only going to draw 1 on their turn and none on your turn. Narset is really annoying for the risk factor deck. I still usually win against Esper with a good hand, but it does get annoying. Alright, so yeah, that's the reason why I'm using risk factor now, because once he gets Narset out, it's just a dead card for me. Prison run a Fanatical Firebrand. Okay. Alright, well. Let's see, we've got our 2 in there, so do I want to draw a bunch or deal burn? Yeah, like I said, I want to do this early, so I'm just going to use my other risk factor now. Alright, so I get the draw in. That's fine. We got some Lava Runners. And you know, if I prefer him to take the damage, but I'm fine drawing because, you know, we've got a lot of burn in our deck and a lot of... Another prison realm. Wow, this is a different Esper build. This is the anti-Esper Esper build, probably. He's trying to beat other Esper control. So I think I'm gonna beat him if he just keeps letting me draw cards anyways. So again, he's probably not running Narset in his build, but I don't care. Alright, I'm gonna play Steam-Kin this turn, because if he doesn't kill it, I'm just gonna have a huge game-winning turn next turn. And if he kills it, that's fine. I've got a lot of burn and removal in my hand. I feel like we're gonna win this for sure. Ooh, we're Splendid Angel. So we do need to kill that if we can't win next turn, so he doesn't pump it and gain the lifelink. Ooh, okay. Alright, so I think we got this. I haven't done the math, but I think we got this turn. So we're killing this so it doesn't block the Steam-Kin. Yep. Alright, and we won. Alright, well, I'll keep playing here. You know, I'd like to show you the mono red mirror if we get to it. It seems like a fine hand. Ooh, green deck again. Oh, dislike playing against this deck. Alright, so, you know, chuck the turn on Llanowar. Pretty much a safe bet. Ooh, hit that card. Gain some 3 life. Yep. Alright. So fortunately we do have Steam-Kin and Risk Factor, so I'm going to try and win off of that combination. Hopefully he doesn't have Ugin out too early on us, or anything else we need to worry about. Blast Zone, okay. Yeah, I'll just kill his Jade Light and then get an extra free attack for 2. Another Lanoir, alright. Play another 1-drop creature. Alright, nope. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna take out his chump blocker. Steam-Kin's a little slow this game because we're not getting any of our 1-drops. Alright, well, I don't care about the blast zone. Alright, that's excellent for us. Oh, that's so good. So he just gets a 3/3 blocker, and it's just gonna die, because our Steam-Kin's gonna be a 4/4. Well, does he realize this has first strike? Oh my god. He's number 390 in the world. Well, you know, we all forget. Alright. Well, I think you got the idea of how the mono red deck works. I mean, it's good. I think what was that? 5-6 games in a row we won with it. It's just fast and consistent. And as long as you consider your plays and do them in the right progression, you're going to have a good experience with this deck. There are other variants of the deck. However, I think Risk Factor is the one you want to go with. It's just more consistent. Because it's lower mana cost and you're able to use it. You're able to use it with Runaway Steam-Kin better. We didn't get to play the mono red mirror there. There's a lot of games, but we didn't see it. I'm gonna keep recording later, and if I get some mirror matches, I'll upload a video with the mono red mirror so you can see how I do play around that. Thanks for watching. If you want to see us playtest any videos, please let me know, and I'm happy to try them out and upload. And please remember to subscribe if you enjoyed our content. Thanks.